They say business partnerships are like marriage. That's true, except in a marriage, you usually promise to stick it out for richer or for poorer. And in business, for poorer is not an option. I have seen brilliant entrepreneurs ruin profitable businesses and destroy 10-year friendships because they made the one fatal mistake in how they structured their partnership. They partnered out of fear and not strategy. If you are thinking about giving away 50% of your company to a co-founder, or if you're currently stuck in a partnership that feels like it's dead weight, put the pen down and listen to me first. This is the most expensive advice I have wished I had paid for or had before I ever signed the dotted line with someone. Because the comfort trap of why we like really want a partner is that we think we can't do it alone, or we're scared to do it by yourself. And the truth is, you don't need a partner if you're feeling that way. You need a business coach or you need a therapist. And so here is your rule. Here is your partnership rule. Only partner with someone if they have a mission critical skill that you cannot hire for. All right. If you are the visionary and they're the technical engineer, if they are just a hardworking person, hire them. You don't have to marry them, right? Now, there are exceptions when you want to reward employees over time, and we're going to talk about that. But there are 5 legitimate mistakes that I made that I'm going to save you from in the next few minutes in this video. And number 1 is the 50-50 equity myth. Okay, let's split it 50-50. It's fair. Don't do that. 50-50 is the worst number ever. You know why? Because when you disagree, there is no one that can make a decision. So 51-49, 80-20, 90-10, like someone has to be the decision maker, and you don't have to give away half of your company on day one. You can have it where it's like an earning thing, right? Like it's called a vesting schedule, where over time people earn shares of your company. And so then they have a say, but maybe they don't have the ultimate say because you still want to have like decision-making power, but you also want to take into account other owners and them reap the benefits of profit sharing. So that's an excellent way. But the 50-50 is the deadlock. The second mistake is not having a business prenup, just like you would when you were getting married. So it's easy to get in, but it's very expensive to get out of a bad partnership. So you must have a buy-sell agreement in place, because what happens if one of you wants to quit or one of you wants to stop working? Like you have to define the divorce before the wedding, because eventually like one of you might want to travel or one of you might not want to use that role anymore. And so it's okay to outline that on the front end when everything is peaceful. And then also, like, unfortunately, what if you have a business partner that dies? Like, what does that clause look like? Did their family automatically inherit it? Do you know their family? Do you want to work with their family? Or do you have an automatic buyout where you will automatically buy out the family or their heirs or whatever the case may be? But defining that on the front end is a huge, huge predictor of success in a partnership. The fourth mistake is resentment math, like your workload versus your compensation. So assuming that you work, like you're assuming in the beginning, you're both going to work hard forever at this cause, but like life happens. Somebody has a baby, somebody wants to take on a different, partnership, and you have to fix. So this is the fix here, is you have to separate ownership, which is your equity in the company, from salary, which is your labor. So you get paid for the work that you do at the market rate, right? But you get profit distributions based on the shares that you own. So for example, I get paid a salary in my companies to handle all of the finances and to lead certain departments. That is my salary that somebody else would get paid if I wasn't here getting paid it. But my profit distributions are based on my ownership in the company. So that way, if your partner ever stops working, their salary stops because somebody else has to fill that role, right? But even if they still own shares, they can get profit distributions. It instantly kills resentment because you've already defined it. It's very clear on the front end. Like, I no longer want to have that role. Let's hire somebody else from that role. I'll still continue to be an owner, but I don't want to be in that position anymore. And it's already defined on the front end and eliminates so much like stress and what ifs and threatening behaviors and conversations. All right. And then the fifth mistake And the thing that you must do is values over skills. Okay. So if you are partnering with someone with for their skills alone and you're ignoring their values, like how do they handle stress? How do they handle money? Are they an abundance thinker versus a scarcity thinker? Have to take those things into consideration because honestly, like you can actually hire someone for a skill, but you cannot fix like judgment and personality, right? So your equity is truly the most like important thing that you own and you have to protect it in partnerships. And if you do that on the front end, it makes the back end so much better, assuming like there's a divorce or separation along the way or a sell, right? A buyout. But if you are struggling with a partnership structure right now, and you're afraid that you've built a business you can't lead alone, like we need to talk. Don't wait any longer. Like click the link in the show notes and we will strategize together. It's a free call where we can peel back the layers with no judgment and truly look at what's going on because it is better to own 100% of a grape than 50% of a watermelon that is rotting from the inside out. You have to choose your partners wisely or learn to walk alone.